Hello, and welcome to the Schell Games 360. It took about 3 seconds.
Oh,
It took about
three seconds.
Why don't you do it?
I lost $5 just now.
Welcome to the Schell Games 360. The first in-person version of the Schell Games 360 live stream. We're here today in order to talk about a very special update to Among Us VR. That's right, Gabe.
What is it?
I think you might know, Gabe.
The launch of our limited time event, Infection.
Infection mode is coming to, or has arrived to. We're live, and you can't say things like that to me behind the camera. We're live with Infection mode, the second limited time event for Among Us VR, where you either play as the Zomburitos or the chefs that are trying to elude the Zomburitos, chasing folks around our limited time edition map, the kitchen. John.
Yeah, hi, Mack. How's it going? The kitchen.
Oh, you're double mic'd up. I forgot. My bad.
Double mic'd up. You're gonna give me twice. Powerful voice. You're gonna Jesuit voice.
Absolutely. Given the culinary theme of the Infection event, we're coming to you live from none other than the Schell Games kitchen, where we are going to be doing a little bit of cooking, chefing, some may say, in honor of the limited time event launching. We may be cooking today, but we still want to hear your questions, your feedback, all of it. Please throw it into the YouTube comments, just like you would any normal Schell Games 360 stream. And I guarantee you that we have folks watching, listening, and we will 100% pipe those questions straight from you to the Schell Games kitchen. And we will be able to answer your questions live from in studio. I'm excited. I don't know if you can tell. Gabe, are you excited?
Pumped.
Sam, are you excited?
Heck yeah.
John, are you excited?
I'm excited. Let's do it.
Heck yeah. Let's get into it. Before we answer any questions about Among Us VR and the second limited time event, why don't we tell the audience what we're going to be doing today in honor of the limited time event? What are we cooking? What do we have prepped here, folks? You might be able to guess already for the more astute fellas and fellas in the audience. What are we doing, Gabe?
Name it. Pull up the recipe card.
We do have a recipe card.
Oh, this is Brian. So our lead producer, his name's Brian. This is Brian's what is it, Emily? I'm looking behind the camera.
Rainbow.
Beefy burrito.
Brian's beefy burrito bowl.
Brian's beefy burrito bowl. So this is a pineapple salsa that we're gonna make. So we got a bunch of pineapple over here. We already did this prep. We got beans, because Among Us gotta have beans. We got some red onion. We diced a little bit of that red onion. We have more red onion and then bell pepper over to the side that we're gonna saute up just a little bit. We got some diced jalapeno. We're gonna add as much of this as we want. I'm gonna add some extra to Gabe so you can see that later. We got some halved limes. We got some rice going on here, and then I think Gabe is gonna go over and start on some of our ground beef.
Oh yeah. Is there a vote out? Is there a poll going right now for the ingredients?
Oh, the extra ingredient.
The extra ingredient.
Yeah, we asked about this before the stream.
I believe there is a poll going out right now. I don't know what the status of that poll is. I believe shortly before the stream started, we put out a poll to see if we should procure some cilantro. During my trip to the grocery store this morning in order to prepare for the Schell Games 360 stream, I forgot the most key ingredient of any salsa.
Debatable.
Whoa, Gabe says debatable.
It's very important.
What say you, audience?
Yeah, tell us.
We got the cilantro regardless of the output of the vote, but I believe that the majority of people did indeed want to see cilantro become a part of the burrito bowl lineup here.
Let's do it.
So we got it. All right. I'm going to stop yapping my gums, and I'm going to let some of the very talented folks at Schell Games that are working on Among Us tell us a little bit more about the limited time event and answer some questions while we start prepping some ingredients. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Good.
All right, here we go. I'm putting the mic down for 1 second so I can read a question from the audience. All right. First things first, we have to start preparing the ingredients or preparing the beef. All right, let's do it. I think that we still have a cam live over there, the beef cam. Is that working? Do we have that? I don't know if you heard that, but Gabe said, "Welcome, beef cam." We should have lip synced. That would have been nice. Gabe's going to start prepping beef. Meanwhile, we've already done the liberty of preparing most of the other ingredients that we're going to be putting into this burrito bowl today. So I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we have a few minutes to just sit and yap our gums about limited time event number 2 for Among Us VR. Is that correct?
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Who wants to tell me about how we ended up here? And by here, I mean, how did we end up choosing a kitchen to be the focus for this second limited time event?
The kitchen for the map.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, a kitchen for the map. So the kitchen is like we started off by asking what new rooms would we want to have inside of the game. We've got like specimen, we've got admin, we've got oxygen. What would be some other fun rooms that we could put into the game? We had this big, long list of all the different types of rooms we wanted to go for, and we basically just chose from that. We chose kitchen because there are a lot of different affordances in a kitchen, a lot of different mini game opportunities. And also, there was this opportunity for a little bit of role play. So we chose to go with like an elementary school kitchen or a high school kitchen / cafeteria because we wanted people to be able to role play as the lunch lady or role play as like standing in line and getting your ingredients or being the cook in the back. We thought that was interesting. The other part of it is there's part of the kitchen, the room itself, that is like off limits to you when you're a kid or when you're like just in line, right? You're always seeing the lunch ladies move around back there and it feels sort of like off limits. You can't get to it. And so it was fun for us to be able to create a space where, now you actually can go back there. You can go and cook stuff. You can fry some nuggets. That was all interesting to us. So that's why we chose a kitchen.
You talk about a little bit of the feeling of wanting a little bit of role play opportunity and just general vibe. Sam, can you speak a little bit more to some of the gameplay aspects and gameplay feel of the mode? What were some of your gameplay goals for the infection mode?
Yeah, so originally we knew we wanted it to be themed around the kitchen, and kind of some of the target gameplay feels that we wanted was fast-paced, hectic, running around screaming, that kind of thing. We also knew we didn't really want to go into social deduction as much, right? The past event was very social deduction-y. The game itself, right, is a social deduction game, and so we wanted to kind of break that mold a little bit with something that didn't care as much about it. So between that and, again, this fast-paced, frantic gameplay, we settled on infection mode. And, if any of you have played it already, you'll know it's very fast-paced and hectic and screaming and running and dying to zombaritos. Yeah.
I see. I realize that we don't have any plates or bowls to throw these burrito bowls in.
We can fix this.
We can fix this for sure.
Yeah.
And while we attempt to fix this, I'm going to ask you to multitask a little bit here, John.
Okay.
We're going to move around the kitchen,
All right.
make use of this this lav mic technology that we've got, and try and find some bowls. And while we do that, I'm going to ask you about some of the mini games, the special mini games that were developed for the infection mode, specifically deep fry and take inventory.
Yeah, so the new mini games to the room and the map. So there's a couple different things that got released just yesterday. One is infection mode, which is that gameplay that Sam was just talking about with the zombaritos and the chefs. And then the other was this new map that we had created that contains the kitchen room. So there's a new map with the kitchen, and then on that new map with the kitchen, infection mode takes place. Some of the new mini games inside of the kitchen are, I talked about affordances before, and just having a laundry list of good ideas in a kitchen that would make for good mini games. We kind of went with two different mini games. So one takes place just in the kitchen itself, and that's deep fry food or deep fry nuggets or something. You can go, it's a visual task, and there's two sets of them side by side, and you lower your nuggets down into the oil, and after about 10 seconds or so, I want to say, the nuggets will be done. But if you let the nuggets sit in the oil for too long, they'll start to burn.
Yep.
And I like it because there's this loud noise that plays, this bah, 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 when your food's done. And it's pretty frequent that somebody's like not going to be there when the food's done. So you're running into the kitchen and you're just seeing, oh my God, somebody's nuggets are burning. Somebody's nuggets are burning. Whose nuggets are burning? So we went with that one just because we thought it was thematic. We liked the idea of the nuggets, and it was an easy motion that we could make in VR. The other mini game is Take Inventory. That takes place inside of the freezer, which is worthy of its own discussion. But it's inside of the freezer, and I liked this mini game because it's sort of our first mini game that makes use of something that I would think is like VR best. A lot of our other mini games are flat panels or buttons that are taken directly from the original game. And it's true that your interface for Take Inventory is the same. You have this like Excel spreadsheet looking thing. You're asked for 3 different ingredients and whether those 3 ingredients are present inside of the freezer. So you need to check that station, look to see, oh, is there a fish? Is there cheese? Is there bread inside of this freezer? And then actually look around the space, walk around the freezer and see, is there fish? Is there cheese? Is there bread? So I thought it was cool because it actually forces you to look around the space. Really, really like players who care a lot will just be able to scan the room before they even get to the console and solve the mini game. I thought it was fun, and it's randomized, so it's going to be different every time.
I got you. Yeah, one of the things that really surprised me about the mode and how fun it was that Take Inventory minigame, how spatially aware you needed to be. A lot of the minigames in Among Us and Among Us VR are very sort of stationary. You're looking at a screen or a panel, and you're doing things inside or like inside of that space or window, but not a lot of them force you to move around and take inventory of your surroundings, pun intended. We talk a little bit about the freezer door specifically. I was wondering, Sam, if you could tell us a little bit more about the freezer door and its gameplay function and how you guys came up with that idea.
Yeah, well, so one of the key elements of the freezer door is the idea of the role play of getting trapped in there, right? Again, we knew we wanted to have some really fun moments in the mode and in the map of dead ends, turning corners, getting trapped in places as the imposter or the Zomburrito, catches up to you. And so the freezer door was definitely one of those elements. The idea of getting in there, the door locks behind you and you're trapped inside. Had a moment just like that, like tons of moments like that when playtesting of Zomburrito catches a couple crewmates hiding out in there, or the imposter with the vent, right? A very well-placed vent in that freezer door, or in that freezer that they can get into, kill a crewmate, an unsuspecting crewmate, and leave. And sometimes the body's even hidden. And so just great moments of role play like that. Also for discovering the body, stuff like that. And we also wanted kind of an interactive door that could just be unique to kind of other the automatic doors that we have in the place.
Thank you very much. Very astute answer to that question. How's the ground beef looking, John? You just looking. I don't know if you guys can hear Gabe over there, but he said it is, quote, looking good. Maybe if you speak directly into John's lav mic.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, hello. Wow, yeah, thanks for asking.
Amazing. Thanks for doing this for us, Gabe.
Yeah.
Do we have a good cam on Gabe at the moment? Sick. I love a multicam setup. I love a good multicam setup.
That's great, dude.
All right. Let me get back to asking some sick questions. I think it's time that we take an audience question here. Let's see who's going to be the special someone. Searblocks asks about cameras. Specifically, is it true that you are planning to add security cams to Among Us VR?
Yeah, we get this question a lot. It's on our roadmap, and it's something that we think about working on pretty often. I don't think I'm at liberty to say right now whether or not it's going to get in, but it's a really highly requested feature, and we like to work on features that are highly requested for that.
All right. Well, there's your answer, Searblocks. TBD. We're not yet sure, but stay tuned to all of the Schell Games channels, the YouTube channel, our Twitter, our Facebook, and the Among Us VR Twitter in order to stay informed. Maybe, who knows? Maybe you'll see a tweet that says we're adding security cams. But the only way you're going to know is if you subscribe to all those platforms. Fear XOXOX. This is a name that I definitely remember. Thank you for being such a valued and consistent member of our streams. And so I will be answering your question next. Do you ever think of modeling? This is cool. The Schell Games HQ in Among Us VR as a functioning map.
Gotta say.
Gabe has
Great
something to
idea.
say about that. Gabe, come over here, Gabe.
I'm kind of newish to the project, but that sounds awesome.
Gabe says yes, and I think that because of that, we're going to do it. All right. What about you, Sam? What do you think?
I think it's a cool idea. I think some interesting challenges to that are, Schell Games HQ is a multi-level, and so it's like, okay, how would we have to incorporate that into a map? That's an interesting challenge and one that would be quite fun to do.
Yeah, I actually have. If this person is interested in a level that is kind of designed around the Schell Games HQ, I Expect You to Die 3. I worked on the hub for that.
Ooh.
Very, very heavily inspired by Schell Games HQ. Like, I don't know if you've probably seen some photos of it, but there's this like third layer. We have this like canopy kind of looking thing. Anyway, I Expect You to Die 3's hub is actually really modeled after Schell Games HQ. So we've done this in other games.
Yeah.
It's possible we could do it for this one.
There we go. There's your answer, Fear. Thank you very much for submitting it. I like this. String of questions here that we've got from the audience. I think we're going to keep doing them. I don't understand that one. I'm sorry. I can't answer it. I'm going to butcher this name. I'm so sorry. At Lobster. Will the mess hall map also leave when LTE 2 ends, when infection mode ends?
I believe so.
Yes, it is.
Sad.
It is limited time. However, it is also available just in normal gameplay. You can play it just as a regular map in a regular game of Among Us, and it'll be along for a little bit. Yeah, it'll be available for a little bit. So definitely get your games in because it is limited time. But you'll have some time to play it.
Is the map sticking around for longer than the mode?
I believe it is.
Okay.
It's sticking around for a little bit longer than the mode, but it is still limited time.
Cool.
Understood. So there is your answer, Lobster. Get in Among Us VR now, or maybe in about, my watch died. I don't know what time it is.
30-ish
in about 30-ish minutes when this
yeah.
stream ends, get in your headset and get in Among Us VR and try out LTE 2 infection mode before it goes away forever. You can never play it again. All right. Salty Noob 23. Excellent name, good sir and or madam. In the future, will the team ever remove the giant voting board in the middle of the cafeteria and replace them with individual touchpads for each of the beans? This person also says, thanks for reading. Stay sus. I will. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Mack always sus.
Come on. Come on.
We all give him the side eye when he walks into the office.
We all vote him out first when he's playing with us.
Okay, can we answer the question and stop calling me sus?
Sorry, dude. Sorry. So the question was, there's a suggestion in there too, which was,
Be right back.
Hey, would we ever think about displaying taking the big board that exists at the center of every lobby and making that sort of like a more personal PDA or tablet kind of a thing? Maybe it would fit into the map.
Yep.
Let me think about that. So I think there's a couple things that I think about when we'll just go into our design.
Design brain time.
Designer brain. Like when we think about that, that's a pretty specific suggestion. What is this person experiencing that they're wanting to solve for, right? Is it, the affordance of looking up and craning my neck every single time, or I have to look away from all the action in order to start a game? Maybe that's what they're responding to.
Yep.
It could be that only one person really needs to look at that screen.
Yep.
Whereas, information about roles or the game or how close the game is starting is something that they're responding to. Technically, it would probably be a challenge for us to move all the information that's up there into a different space. But especially if there's a good problem that this person is identifying that we're trying to solve for, there might be a way that we can do that with their specific suggestion, or do something else that solves the problem that they're kind of getting at.
Yeah, one thing we've definitely been thinking about more and more is other information that needs to be shown on that screen. There's plenty of roles that we've talked about that could use more or less information on that screen, or maybe kind of a unique experience for different roles, basically. There's also been, again, like ideas of what if we show like stats or just other things that players can really get into during gameplay, and where would we show that? And yeah, showing it on the voting screen, showing it on an alternate screen, a different location within the lobby. That's all been things we've definitely thought about at one point or another.
Yeah. So if this person is on the Discord and wants to give a little bit more information, I'm sure, about like this specific suggestion, or if there's a problem they're trying to solve for, throw it in there, and
Yep.
I'm sure it'll make it our way to us.
It's been a while since we've heard from Gabe. Gabe, how are you doing over there?
Hi, how's it going?
John,
I'll walk over.
yeah, why don't we,
Yeah.
let's see if we can,
We can swap for a second if you want.
I'm gonna put so we're getting, we've added the tomato paste. A little bit closer.
Okay.
A bit closer.
Yeah.
Added tomato paste. It's for this to all simmer down a little bit. I think you should keep an eye on it. A little extra pineapple juice.
Okay, great.
Maybe just soften it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
all right, Gabe, hey, how's it going? Say hello to all the wonderful people that are tuned in for specifically because they're so excited about LTE2 infection mode, which most prominently features the new character of the Zomburrito. Gabe, I don't know if this is true or not, but word around town is you were one of the progenitors of the Zomburrito character.
I think there was a Taco Tuesday that had something to do with it. There were some teammates. We had some 11-year-olds that were circling around the table. We ran a bunch of ideas out, and Zomburrito, the word came before the character.
Yeah.
We had the idea of the Zomburrito, and the question was, well, what does a Zomburrito look like? So Mike, one of our fantastic character artists, just whipped out a fantastic sort of first pass at the Zomburrito. Very close to the one that you guys will see in game when you play. Guacamole, calamari tentacles, some bones in there. What does it look like to have a burrito in space? I don't know. But Mike put all that stuff together, and it was fantastic. So it was the rallying point that we had for the rest of the experience. And we just, everything we had, we wanted to champion the Zomburrito.
I have more questions about the Zomburrito, but I realized that some viewers might actually not know what this Zomburrito looks like. And I think that we have a fantastic trailer that is just waiting and ready to be played. Probably should have been played about 19 minutes ago at the intro that we'll probably throw on right now. And then we'll get back to the questions if that's all right. Let's play that trailer. That was the trailer for the infection mode, and we're back here with Gabe Sabe, as they call him at Schell Games. Gabe, did you have any other food ideas besides burritos? I'm assuming no, because this was a idea that came out of a Taco Tuesday event.
We had, in the previous week, we had some ideas. There was an impostor, which was pasta themed. We had the slime boogers, cheese touch from Diet from Wimpy Kid was brought up. Maybe you got to touch the cheese or let the cheese not touch you. All very fun ideas that we kind of ran around with. But Zomburrito was near and dear to our heart. Once we saw the first concept come to life, it was hard to say no.
Yeah.
With the Zomburrito, if you will.
Love at first sight with a Zomburrito. You've heard it here first, folks. All right, let's see if we can get an audience question for you. Let's see here. This is not a Gabe question, I don't think. This is probably more of a marketing question. Maybe we can grab a marketer from the from the office to answer this one later. Anyway, Smord, very, very astute name. You'll see why here in a second. Asks, when are you guys adding the coveted s'mores hat?
cosmetics are going to become a bigger focus for us probably for the rest of the year. So any and all ideas, if you guys from the fans want to start upvoting things out in the Discords and other social medias, we're ready for them. Please share your thoughts. We're ready to make a bunch of stuff.
And we have one more from Lobster, spelled a different way this time. LOB5TER asks about cosmetics. Specifically, they say, I've noticed I have to scroll right on my monitor. I've noticed most of the recent updates have been made to prepare for the future. So, ... When it comes to the wardrobe and roles, what can you share? Eye emoji.
I can share that it's going to be, I can't share a whole lot, put it there. But what I can share is that we have heard you guys and what you're looking for. And we are trying our best to see how to get all this stuff to work on a VR platform. So some cool tricks, though, I have to say. I'm quite impressed with the team.
Can I hop in on that one?
Let's hop in, John.
Can I hop in?
Hop in. Hop into frame.
Just that we work together on this one. Yeah. On the wardrobe in the store, we tried to build it so that we can add more things if we want to in the future. Try to build it so that if there is something that is really high value to you all, or really high value to whomever, really, maybe, that we can add those things. The old wardrobe, it was only like a 2x3 grid. It made it hard to tab through all the hats that we had. It would make it difficult in case we wanted to add anything else. So we redesigned it with that in mind.
There's a lot of negative space in there right now.
There is. Yeah.
Who knows?
John.
Yeah, what's up?
You should stay right there. Stay within frame, John. I have a slant. For the folks who don't know at home, me and John, best of friends, some may say.
Best buds.
Best buds. Someone get a clip of that. Clip that.
Oh my God.
Twitch, clip that.
This is
YouTube,
good.
clip that.
Good. Big thumbs up, buddy.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Okay, great.
Right,
and
back to work. Sorry. Whew. And because myself and John and I are best of friends, I know that John, one of the most passionate and most talented advocates for hand interaction in VR.
Oh, it's true.
And generally, working with your hands, whether they be controllers or with hand tracking in VR.
Yep.
And so I ask you this question from the audience, a very wonderful question from War VR, who asks, what is the most complicated VR/hands interaction that you had to code for Among Us VR?
The most complicated hands or controller-based interaction. Well, anything with rotation is tricky because you're dealing not with you're going 90 degrees around the X, then 90 degrees around the Y. We have to code it in what are called quaternions, and those are finicky at best, and the math is not human readable, again, at best. So a lot of stuff to do with rotation, and in particular, from a design angle, I would say it's wrist rotation. So when you're holding a controller in your hand, if you can picture it, when you've got a controller in your hand, your wrist is kind of pointed forward. You've got your hand in a specific way, and you have something in your palm. We hold some other things like this. You can kind of hold your mic like that if you wanted to, right? We're a controller. We hold knives like this. I can't believe I'm in a kitchen and I don't have access to a knife, but we do have access to a knife. So we hold it careful. We kind of hold it in a particular way. And when we go to use our wrist rotation on a lot of real world affordances or real world objects, we think about knobs, right? We think about the knob on an oven, for example, or we think about the volume control on our car radio. And a lot of times what we're doing is we're turning our hands. I don't know which camera's best for this.
I like this one.
This one over here? Okay.
Go to camera 2.
Camera 2. Thumbs up. Okay. So, I get to do this like I'm at GDC again. When we're holding something, oftentimes we're either pushing in our hand, we're pushing, or we're using more of our arm. But on the wrist motion, we're actually using more of our like fingers and more of our wrists. But you don't do that often when you're holding a controller in your hand. So this is an action that comes up a lot in terms of the design space that we want to use, because we want to use like a dial on a radio or a dial on the TV in Polis, for example, is a good example of this. I Expect You to Die runs into this a lot too, where it's really difficult to code in a way that like players understand that you're actually supposed to pivot your wrist while still using a controller. If you were to go to hand tracking, you would solve for some of this because you don't have that object in your hand. But with a controller in your hand, it's tricky to do wrist rotation. That's what I would say. He's too busy handling the food. He's got 2 hands full of, one with ground beef, one with what seems to be bell pepper.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, those that know me know that I'm not the best at multitasking. All right. Do we have a special guest? Maybe to my right, about 45 degrees. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Who is this?
That's
Who's this
That's
person?
very sus.
Oh my god.
What?
What the heck?
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Hey. Welcome, Red Bean. Yeah. How do we? I shouldn't jump with this thing on.
Probably not.
I should.
You will hit something.
This is great. Take center stage. Here, come over here.
Would you?
What? Oh my.
All right. We got.
Goodness.
Would you like to tell the audience, the folks at home, anything? The bean is shy today.
You're just here for the free food.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I'm getting something in from the bean. The bean says to log on to Among Us VR ASAP and play the new infection mode out for only a limited time, where you play as the Zomburitos or the chefs, as John is about to demonstrate.
No. Predictable.
Darn it. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like to just sit in the background and back frame forever.
Yeah, just keep walking around. Another
Yeah.
cook in the kitchen. Can't hurt.
Okay.
Not too close to the stove, though, probably.
This is going totally off script. You guys ever play Overcooked?
Yep, script.
And like Overcooked, the like civilians just get in your way whenever you're like trying to like cook your food. This is what this is reminding of. So if we could do like a little real life Overcooked thing. Ooh, that's a nice little partnership idea. I shouldn't be saying that on the stream, I don't think. That's fine. Let's go back to answering audience questions, I think. Can you put I Expect You to Die in Among Us VR?
Can we put I Expect You to Die in Among Us VR?
Someone asked it. We're answering it.
Yeah, why not? Why not? I'd like certain aspects of it. Like we could probably put certain either cosmetics in or references to the game. But it's a lot of the interactions as well are kind of based on the I Expect You to Die system. So I was talking about rotational motion and things before. A lot of those same elements that we use as part of our design toolkit for our linear motion or our rotational motion to get something to turn. A lot of those are the same between I Expect You to Die and this game. So in a way, I Expect You to Die is already in this game, but I don't think that's what this person is getting at.
Doubtful.
We might have an opportunity. We'll chat with our producers on it.
Stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. Anything's possible here at Schell Games, including a real life Among Us VR being coming stage left and gracing us with their presence. All right, let's see here. I'm sorry, I've been so focused on getting audience questions from their mouth to your ears that I'm not really familiar with the status of our burrito bowls. What's going on over there, Sam?
Yeah, so the meat was finished. We finished up the meat. Now we're just lightly cooking the peppers and onions, just getting them a little soft, and then those will be done. And then we should be ready to start assembling the salsa, I believe.
Perfect. Excellent. How are we on time, folks? Oh, we're doing great. Heck yeah. All right. Let's keep going. We're having fun. Fire Doggo 1 says, do you ever think you'll add hide and seek to the game like the original? Sam, is this a question you'd like to ask or answer?
What was the question one more time?
Oh, of course. Do you ever think that we will add hide and seek to the game like the original?
Hide and seek, we have definitely brainstormed that as a mode, as a role, as just some setting changes. We've definitely talked about that before. I can't say one way or the other if it will get in, but I can tell you if it does, that would be really cool. And we've already got plenty of ideas for how that could work.
There you go. Short and sweet. Fear XOXOX asks about the color of our stove. I don't know. They ask if it's purple or is that just the camera? It's just the camera. It's Gabe actually has an answer.
It's custom purple. Actually, it was we flew it from Italy.
It's a reflection of Sam's hair.
Yeah.
There you go. You've heard it here first. Yes, one of the most expensive things in the studio. Emily has a joke. Emily, step in the frame. Everyone say hi to Emily.
Hello, I am second producer on Among Us. It's not really a joke, but I was just gonna say the stove is purple, but that's just because it's so hot, just spicy hot, like these burrito bowls we're whipping up today. So hope everyone's excited for that. I'll pass the mic back to Mack.
You heard it here first, folks. Spicy, just like these burrito bowls that we're about to be chefing up here in T-minus, I don't know how long.
Well, I'm going to say
maybe 10
minutes or so.
All right. Which is a perfect amount of time to rip through the rest of these audience questions. All right, let's see. Gabe, would you like to choose one out from the ones that aren't marked in gray? While I stand and look very... Please take this microphone, Gabe.
I have questions for you guys too. Well, not you guys, the crew here. What comes? Oh, we talked about that one. Can you add? I know what that is. We're planning on adding the mess kitchen to another map. So, are you planning on adding the mess kitchen to another map? Did we talk about that one already?
I think so.
Yeah. No. I mean, quite honestly, our level designs are modular.
Okay.
We're trying to figure out the best ways to make this game sustainable for the long run. So there's a lot of new tools that we're looking to get invested in, which, with mess hall and other things like that, can we move that around? Can we swap levels together? All that good stuff. It's totally possible.
Yeah, I think the Polis Point was designed with all these separate rooms that we could mix around. And the kitchen is just another one of those rooms. All the other rooms in the mess hall map are part of Polis originally, but that we just moved around and combined in different ways to make a new map.
Yeah.
So totally not out of the question.
Let's see here. What do we got here? Will we see new colors in Among Us VR and 15 maximum? Ooh, more players. I don't know about more players. We've gone through a bunch of performance improvements recently, so we can offer other types of things.
Yeah.
But 15 players, 5 more than we have right now. It's a lot of balancing, is what that comes down to.
Sometimes. Like, I do think the performance thing is the biggest one.
Yeah.
Because if, I don't know, people release some new headset that's 3 times as powerful, then we might be able to push that. But for the hardware that most people are working on right now, which is like kind of the Quest 2, PSVR 2 kind of thing, we would not be able to have a steady frame rate if we added more players. So that's kind of what we've balanced around in terms of, well, there's your balance.
Yeah.
Balanced in terms of like that frame rate level. I don't know that we can really go above it.
It's one thing that Schell Games does really well is take things that we don't think would possibly be, doable in VR and make them playable in VR.
Yeah.
So we are always looking for new ways to improve the game. And if you guys have other suggestions like that too as well, please keep sharing them. It sounds like a really fun idea.
I grabbed this microphone for the purposes of saying that it's time for us to start assembling these burrito bowls. We have all the ingredients in front of us. It's time. And I don't know about you folks, but darn, I'm hungry. All this Zomburrito talk has got me very, very hungry, chomping at the bit to start on these. Would someone who's more culinary inclined than I, perhaps someone with a chef's hat on, like to guide us through this process?
I think that's you. Sam was a chef, is a chef, question mark?
I cook at home. Does that count?
Yeah, it counts.
Okay. All
Okay,
right,
great.
then. Yeah. So first, let's grab that. All right. So you always want to start with the base, and in this case, the base is the rice. So you're gonna grab a nice spoonful of said rice, put it right in the middle.
Ooh, nice.
All right. Then meat and veggies are the next ingredient. They're the hot things, so they'll reheat some of the rice. If it's gotten a little cold, it'll be pretty. Grab that. All right. And then the rest of this is just basically your toppings. What do you want on there?
Stop! Look at that just now. By itself. It's like a
Yeah, can we
very
get
well
a close up on that? Can you go ahead and throw that on
Yeah.
frame here? Camera 2.
stars, you
I don't know. I've never
know.
Sheesh.
I have 4 Michelin.
Whoa.
Chat's going wild for that.
Whoa. What the heck?
All right. What ingredients are we feeling, folks?
We got to do beans.
Can you have a bowl with the cilantro?
Oh yeah. Find out at the end. All right, we will find out at the end. All right, so we got some beans on top. Pineapple.
I get pineapple. You think pineapple?
Oh yeah,
Pineapple.
just a little bit as a treat.
Just as a treat. Yeah,
As a
little
treat.
bit of sweet. All right,
Yeah.
There we go.
Oof.
Okay, we got onions.
This is a
Now-
good bit. I'm glad we did
Now
Whoa.
I'm not a huge fan
Oh,
of
yeah.
spicy, but who's a fan of spicy? Who wants the jalapenos
I
on there?
want spicy.
You want?
Do
You want?
it?
All right, so whose bowl is this?
Yeah,
Who
whose
are-
I think
bowl
it's- I think it's yours.
Is my bowl? Okay.
All
All right, sorry, we should have
I'll
not.
put a little
We should
bit.
have been letting you
Yeah,
decide.
so Red Bean, like,
Oh my God! You know what? Yes, this is for Red Bean. Red Bean, please step into frame and jump
Oh.
joyously at the thought of getting some of the most exquisite burrito bowl action.
All right. And the last and most important part, are we getting the
I'm sorry.
cilantro?
I'm getting, folks. I'm getting word in that cilantro has won the poll with a near unanimous vote. Hundreds of thousands of you have voted for cilantro to be included with reckless abandon on this burrito bowl. And folks, if there's nothing else we like doing at Schell Games, it's pleasing the user, the end user,
Absolutely.
Cilantro.
giving them what they want. And so we're going to douse this with cilantro. And we're going to then, what do we think, folks? A little bit of lime action. Squeeze some of this in here. You guys mind if I do the honors? Or Emily has a.
Just want to jump in and say it's lime time, baby.
Folks, you heard it here first. More at 11. I will be squeezing this lime.
Can we get a good shot?
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
so right. Hang on. Give me 1 second.
Hold on, yeah, hold it up.
This is one of those bon appetit kind of moments, you know?
Do a little chef's bam.
Oh, well, like a salt bag.
Yeah.
Kind of thing?
With Soul Bay?
Can we shout him out on stream? Is that bad?
Hang on. Where's our salt and pepper and all that stuff?
Over here.
Yeah, let's add a little bit of that. We'll do a nice little. Who would like to do the honors? Gabe, can you?
I gotta open up first, I think.
Open
Yeah,
this.
they haven't been opened. Okay.
They've been opened up.
All right, so what is it? If I was to do this first, right? I put it in my hand, and then I do a little boom.
Whoa! One more for a little bit of close-up action here.
Oh my God. Come on.
We're off the rails.
Folks, subscribe to the Schell Games YouTube channel and buy Among Us VR on Meta Quest, also on PSN, PSVR, Steam, Pico. I think that's all of them right now. But who knows? Maybe in the future or not. We are not sure. I can't say anything about that. But subscribe to the Schell Games Twitter, Facebook, and every other social media platform I can't remember at the moment. Reddit, TikTok.
Oh, baby.
Gabe, can you tell the audience, give them a little sneak peek of what they might see on the TikTok regarding your whole?
I have no clue what's going on with that one. They are getting all the art assets that we're getting from the game. We got a whole tool to crank out a whole bunch of content. We're ready to go. We're ready to go, baby. Let's go. Let's TikTok it.
All right. Without further ado and without any more sidebars from me, we're going to continue assembling these burrito bowls. Would we like to answer a couple more audience questions now that we've got the test run out of the way while we assemble the rest of these?
Yeah,
What do we say? Let's do it. All right. We got one from Fire Doggo 1. I love that. is the infection game mode, I think we've answered something similar to this already. Is the infection game mode going to leave forever because it's very fun? You guys did a great job. So if nothing else, thank you so much, Fire Doggo. But yes, unfortunately, it's going to go away soon forever. So play it now while it lasts. Get it while it's hot, just like these burrito bowls. All right. Can you, let's see, calm sabotage? Iceman 55 asks, will communication sabotage ever be added to Among Us VR?
Calm sabotage.
Who'd like to take this one?
I can attempt it. Let's see, calm sabotage. So I think we had entertained the idea of a calm sabotage at one point. The calm sabotage in the VR version, we thought, oh, maybe we could cut out some player voices, or we could modulate player voices, or we could make it so that you couldn't see players' colors, or see players like nameplates or something, to try to do something that was more like VR best for calm sabotage. Ultimately, some of the platforms won't let us like mess with the player's voice at all, let us take it away from them, or let us modulate it. So I think we moved away from that. Definitely, like, we are thinking about sabotages broadly, though, and what types of sabotages might be fun to add to the game. So calm sabotage is just one of those.
All right. Emily, can you confirm or deny that we are indeed running out of time for this stream? The light is on, and we are soon going to be asked to exit stage left. But before we do that, would you like to find and then answer the last question for Among Us VR's limited time event infection mode? Decide carefully. And in the meantime, we will remain completely quiet while we assemble these burrito bowls.
It's really hard not to make noise when you're handling this much like glassware and stuff. There he goes. You can probably do that.
Emily, I'm going to ask you about Polis Point. The last map this game introduced was Polis Point, which was huge, and every new room was unique. This new map uses many of the same rooms, plus new kitchen room, in order to create a different experience. What were some of your goals with the new map? And I believe as producer, you also have the wherewithal to call on folks who might be able to help you. Would you like to take the talking stick?
Sure. Yeah, I can talk about this briefly and then pass it to, I think, John as well. We'll have some good insights. Yeah, so this new map definitely does use a lot of the new same rooms, new map. We're trying to kind of revamp it, just kind of give a new feeling and vibe to the experience that players are getting, while still making it, kind of interesting and familiar in ways that are still fairly feasible for us on the developer end as well too, because there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we want to make sure we can keep up to keep the gameplay as fun and exciting as possible. So this is one of the ways we're working with it. I think, John, you worked a lot on the map.
Yeah,
Anything to add to this?
I don't need to be double mic'd.
Right.
Actually, I'm going to take this with me.
Okay, great. I guess I'm using this. It's been stolen. In terms of this new map, I more or less riffed on this for a while. I took a look at Skeld and some of the other maps in the original game, and also Polis Point in our game, and tried to figure out what patterns exist inside of all of these maps. One thing is the original game doesn't have a map creator, or it doesn't have any community tools to go and make maps. And so there is sometimes a wealth of information from other designers who have already made maps for games like this that you might just be able to look up and say, what does the community like to do for maps? That wasn't the case with our game. So we kind of had to understand, what is Polis Point doing? What is Skeld in our game doing in order to make a new map? Couple things. Polis Point is two giant circles, almost, if you look at the map. Skeld is one big circle with a lot of dead ends. So those were two very different map designs right off the bat. And I wanted to kind of combine those two ideas of having dead ends, but also having two big sort of like circles that you could run around in. So this map is kind of the combination of both of those things, where you have 2 circles that you can run around in, but we added a lot of dead ends with tasks at the end of it. This worked out really well for infection mode because you can get caught in those dead ends by the Zomburitos. But it also works, we found, pretty well for just normal Among Us gameplay too, because imposters can get away with something and a body wouldn't be uncovered immediately. Like in Polis, for example, if you kill somebody, it's very likely you're killing somebody inside of a room. And inside of a room, you can kind of see the rest of the entire room, which means there were minimal places for an imposter to make a kill and then hide without like venting away. So I wanted to introduce more opportunities for dead ends and more opportunities for imposters to get away with a kill before somebody immediately notices it. We'll see how, everything plays out now that it's live. But that was some of the intent, at least.
And please, of course, give us your feedback. We're so excited to always hear what players are thinking and feeling about the game. And of course, just getting, kind of general vibes on what we're putting out there. We are creating these things for you guys, and we are hoping that you are as excited to play them as we are to make them. So we just love getting a chance to hear from everyone any chance that we get. I think I'm going to pass it back to Mack. We're going to be closing out here soon.
I don't think there's anything else I can really add to that. I think this is a good way to cap it off. But if you'd like, I'd like to do a nice little, very quick, what are some of your favorite burrito toppings? Go.
Oh, geez. Technically, refried beans are probably my favorite.
There it is. Gabe's answer, refried beans. Go. John.
Tomatilla.
I'm uneducated. What is that?
It's like a green salsa kind of thing.
Green tomato. BC.
Cilantro, of course.
BC, the audio director for the stream, says cilantro. Indeed. And millions of you agree with him. Emily, go.
Hot sauce.
Classic. And last but certainly not least, Sam.
Queso.
Mic drop in the stream now. Queso. Best. Yeah. All right. I think that's about it. Thank you so much for joining. I have a bunch of conclusion notes I should probably read. And I'm going to do so right now while John talks.
I got you, buddy. Oh, well, I talk. Hold on. I thought you were going to do the talking. You do the conclusion.
Okay, I just had to get to the conclusion part. All right. Thank you so much to all of our guests. Oh, thank you so much, John. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much to all of the guests that tuned into the stream. We really, really appreciate your support, especially during this very, very special version of Schell Games 360. Obviously, I think you could tell that we're all having a great time, and we'd like to continue having a great time for you all. So if you enjoyed the stream, please feel free to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That's probably only a few pixels away. Buy our products so that we can continue buying ground beef and other burrito bowl ingredients, including Among Us VR, whose limited time event number 2, Infection Mode, is out now. Go ahead and play it. It's out on all major VR platforms. Thank you so much to all of the Schell Games team members who helped make this all possible, including the ones behind the scenes, all of the folks in marketing and in the Among Us VR team, and everyone at Schell Games that helped make this possible. This was truly a bigger effort than some of our other productions that required a lot of help from a lot of our different departments of the studio. Thanks to John's arm for continuing to hold this one-handed. I'm going to see if I can wrap this up for you. Oh, yeah. Let's go, dog. I think I've already said this. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Twitter, our new TikTok, all of our other social media platforms. Subscribe to the Schell Games newsletter if you want to be in the know about all of the things happening at the studio, including things like this. Among Us VR is on sale from April 12th to 18th. So this is a perfect time to click the X button right now. I have nothing more that's cool to say. I'm just going to keep rambling and instead go to meta.com or any of the other VR platforms and buy the game currently on sale. Emily.
And if you get a chance to try out the burrito bowls that we're making today, please tag us in the post because the recipe is delicious and we'd love to see your guys' creations.
That is such a great point. Thank you very much, Emily. 3 more things, and then I promise we'll let you go on with your day. We want your feedback. Fill out the Schell Games 360 feedback form. I'm going to help you out here. It's probably coming in the chat right about now, and feel free to fill that out. Let us know what you want to see out of these things. We do them for you, after all. All right, that's it. I'm done talking. You've all been a very great audience. We'll see you next time with another Schell Games 360 in May. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you soon. Stay subscribed to all of the Schell Games channels for more details. All right, mic drop. It's happening. Click in. Everybody wave now. Bye.